The year is 1949. Imagine a sea of faces, 1 million strong, gathered in Tiananmen Square. They are witnessing the birth of a new China. This is Mao Zedong, a figure who would forever alter China's destiny. His journey, from humble beginnings to power, is a tale of revolution and ambition. Mao's China emerged from a century of humiliation. Foreign powers had carved up the country. Warlords wreaked havoc. The people yearned for a strong leader. Mao Zedong promised them just that. But at what cost? This is the story of Mao Zedong, the revolutionary who reshaped China. Mao Zedong was born in Shaoshan, Hunan Province in 1893. His family were peasant farmers. Life was hard. Mao experienced poverty and witnessed rural inequalities. These experiences shaped his worldview. He clashed with his strict father. He devoured books and sought knowledge, drawn to radical ideas post-1911 revolution. China was in chaos. Young intellectuals searched for new ideologies. Mao was drawn to Marxism. He saw it as a way to uplift the peasantry. This marked his transformation to a revolutionary leader. The seeds of revolution were sown in Shanghai in 1921. A small group of men met in secrecy. They were founding the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP. Among them was Mao Zedong, his star already on the rise. Mao's charisma and understanding of the peasantry made him a natural leader. He believed in mobilizing the rural masses. He saw in them the true engine of revolution. This put him at odds with some CCP members who favored an urban-based uprising. The early years of the CCP were fraught with danger. The party faced brutal repression from the ruling Kuomintang, or KMT. Mao, however, thrived in this environment. He honed his skills as a guerrilla leader, establishing a base in the rural heartland of Jiangxi province. It was here that the legend of Mao Zedong, the warrior philosopher, began to take shape. The year 1934 marked a turning point in the Chinese Civil War. The KMT, led by Chiang Kai-shek, launched a massive offensive against the CCP's Jiangxi Soviet. Outnumbered and outgunned, the communists faced annihilation. In a daring maneuver, the CCP leadership decided to break out of the KMT encirclement. Thus began the Long March, a year-long 6,000-mile odyssey across some of the most treacherous terrain on Earth. Over 80,000 soldiers and civilians set out on this perilous journey. The Long March was a testament to human endurance. The marchers faced hunger, disease, freezing temperatures, and constant KMT attacks, yet they persevered, driven by their belief in the communist cause and the leadership of Mao Zedong. Section 5. Triumph over adversity. The Long March decimated the CCP's ranks. Thousands perished along the way. Yet, it also forged a new sense of unity and purpose. Mao emerged from the ordeal with his leadership solidified. He had proven himself a brilliant strategist and a charismatic leader capable of inspiring his followers in the darkest of times. The CCP established a new base in Yan'an in northern China. Here, Mao continued to refine his ideology, emphasizing the importance of peasant mobilization and guerrilla warfare. He also began to cultivate his image as the savior of the Chinese people. The outbreak of the Second Sino-Japanese War in 1937 provided a strategic opportunity for the CCP. With China fighting for its survival against Japanese aggression, Mao skillfully positioned the communists as patriotic resistance fighters. This resonated with the Chinese people, who were increasingly disillusioned with the KMT's corruption and ineffectiveness. Section 6. Forging a New China. The end of World War II in 1945 saw China on the brink of exhaustion. The conflict with Japan had ravaged the country. The KMT, weakened and discredited, was in no position to rebuild the nation. The CCP, on the other hand, emerged from the war with its ranks swollen and its prestige enhanced. The stage was set for a final showdown. The Chinese Civil War resumed in earnest in 1946. The CCP, now a formidable fighting force, swept across the country. City after city fell to the communists. The KMT, riddled with corruption and demoralized, put up little resistance. On October 1, 1949, Mao Zedong stood before a jubilant crowd in Tiananmen Square and proclaimed the founding of the People's Republic of China. After decades of struggle, the communists had triumphed. A new era had begun for China. Section 7. The Great Leap Forward. A nation falters. With China firmly under communist control, Mao set about transforming the nation. He launched a series of ambitious 5-year plans aimed at rapidly industrializing the country. Central to this vision was the Great Leap Forward, launched in 1958. The Great Leap Forward was a utopian experiment on a massive scale. Mao sought to collectivize agriculture, abolish private property, and create a socialist paradise. Millions of peasants were forced into communes in order to increase agricultural and industrial output. The Great Leap Forward proved to be a catastrophic failure. The forced collectivization of agriculture led to a dramatic decline in food production. The government's focus on steel production at the expense of other essential goods created widespread shortages. The result was a devastating famine that claimed the lives of tens of millions of Chinese. Section 8. The Cultural Revolution, a Time of Turmoil. The failure of the Great Leap Forward weakened Mao's grip on power. He responded by launching the Cultural Revolution in 1966. This was a brutal campaign aimed at purging China of his perceived enemies and reasserting his authority. Mao unleashed the Red Guards, fanatical student groups, on Chinese society. They targeted intellectuals, party officials, and anyone deemed insufficiently revolutionary. Schools and universities were closed, ancient temples and cultural artifacts were destroyed, millions were persecuted, tortured, and killed. The Cultural Revolution plunged China into chaos. The economy stagnated. Education and cultural life ground to a halt. The country was on the brink of anarchy. It was only with Mao's death in 1976 that the Cultural Revolution finally came to an end. Section 9. A Legacy Etched in Time. Mao Zedong died on September 9, 1976 at the age of 82. His passing marked the end of an era. He left behind a nation transformed, for better or for worse. His legacy remains deeply contested to this day. To his admirers, Mao was the father of modern China. He liberated the country from foreign imperialism and feudalism. He unified China and restored its national pride. He laid the foundations for China's economic rise. To his detractors, Mao was a ruthless dictator responsible for the deaths of tens of millions of his own people. The Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution stand as monuments to his hubris and cruelty. His legacy is one of tyranny and unimaginable suffering. Section 10. The Price of Progress. The truth, as is often the case, lies somewhere in between these two extremes. Mao was a complex figure, a product of his time. He was a brilliant strategist, a charismatic leader, and a ruthless dictator. He was capable of great idealism and horrific cruelty. His legacy is inextricably linked to the tumultuous period in which he lived. He led China through war, revolution, and famine. He oversaw both remarkable progress and unspeakable tragedy. His actions shaped the destiny of 1 billion people. Assessing Mao's legacy requires a nuanced understanding of Chinese history and the challenges he faced. It demands acknowledging both his achievements and his failures. It compels us to confront the human cost of revolution and the enduring tension between progress and tyranny. Section 11. Conclusion: Mao Zedong's enduring impact. The China of today, a global superpower on the rise, bears the indelible mark of Mao Zedong. His portrait still hangs over Tiananmen Square, a constant reminder of his enduring influence. His ideas continue to shape Chinese politics and society. Mao's legacy is a source of both pride and pain for the Chinese people. He remains a deeply revered figure for many, while others view him with horror and revulsion. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the seductive allure of utopian ideologies. Mao Zedong's life and legacy offer a window into one of the most tumultuous periods in human history. His story is a reminder that even the most well-intentioned revolutions can go astray. It is a testament to the enduring power of ideas and the enduring capacity for both good and evil that resides within